Well, hi there, marketers, and welcome once again to the Market Mindset Podcast. I am your co host, Robin Evans. Of course, Travell Evans is behind the camera, but you will see him later on in the video. We are so happy to have you here with us. Now, before I continue, remember to like the videos and subscribe to this channel. And of course, share it so other people can share this information as well. Now, today we have another special treat for you. We have Michelle Seiler Tucker. She's regarded as the authority in selling, buying, fixing, and growing a sustainable business. So we have her here so that she can share some of that information with us. Michelle has been doing this for over 20 years. She's the CEO and founder of Seiler Tucker Incorporated. Marketers, it is definitely a treat. She has many accolades behind her name, and we're definitely going to list the bio in the description so that you can read a bit more. But sit back, relax, and get ready to take notes. This is going to be a great one. Roll the clip. So welcome once again to the Market Mindset Podcast. Today we have a special treat, as I said. We have Michelle Seiler Tucker. Thank you so much for being on the show, Michelle. Thank you for gracing us with your presence. And it's just so much to tell, and you can tell it best. So I want you to tell our listeners a bit about yourself.
Sure. So I'm Michelle Seiler Tucker, founder of Seiler Tucker Incorporated, mergers and acquisitions master intermediary, senior business analyst, certified mergers and acquisitions professional, and a bunch of other acronyms behind my name. I've been in this industry a little over 20 years. I've personally sold over 500 companies. My firm altogether has sold over 1,000. So we really specialize in buying, selling, fixing, growing businesses, not just selling them, because most businesses are not sellable. Steve Forbes says 80% of businesses will never sell in the United States. 80%, think about that. So you only have a 20% success rate when you try to sell your business. And so we really spend a lot of time fixing companies, growing companies, putting business owners on a build to sell program so that they actually can sell for their desired sales price.
Okay, awesome.
I'm also an international speaker, an author of several books,
Yes.
and a mother of a 10-year-old.
Oh, okay. So your name tag on your desk must be very long, right? The length of a desk.
I don't even have one. I don't even have a name tag. My name itself is long.
Well, yeah.
Adding acronyms to it.
Yeah, and could you tell the listeners how exactly did you get in this field? Was it a?
Yeah, I'm not going to go through every detail, but just to let you know, I mean, I've always been, even as a little girl, I always knew I wasn't going to work for somebody because my biggest pet peeve is don't tell me what to do. I don't like to be told what to do. So I know I'm not going to make a good employee.
Okay.
So I've always been an entrepreneur. I've always owned different businesses and different verticals. I did start a franchise development consulting company several years ago. And I had so many buyers asking me for existing businesses. And I could say, no, we don't have existing businesses. We have franchises, new franchises. And I kept saying, no, no, no. And I'm like, why am I saying no? I should be saying yes. And that's really what transitioned me from franchise sales development consulting into selling businesses into mergers and acquisitions. And that was a little over 20 years ago.
Nice.
Okay, awesome. And so you see, this is why I said you can say it best, because it's so many things that go behind your name. And like I said before, when we were speaking, it is definitely admirable. It's admirable and it's something to follow. Now you have some awesome books, but your latest book is called Exit Rich. And that's the book that we want to talk about this afternoon. That's the one that we definitely want to highlight. So tell us a bit about Exit Rich.
Sure. So Exit Rich. So I wrote my very first book, Sell Your Business for More Than It's Worth, in 2013. And when I did the research in 2013, I learned that startups, those businesses that have been in business 1 to 5 years, were at great risk, that 95% of them will go out of business. And that's pretty much common knowledge, right? Y'all know that. And that's in America. I'm not sure about the Bahamas. And When I wrote Exit Rich, I really started noticing so many businesses that have been in business going out of business. Like I would, I travel all over the country because we sell companies, I speak on stages, and I'll see a strip center one day and the next day I'm like, it's empty. What happened? So I started doing research for Exit Rich, and I was flabbergasted to learn that the business landscape has flip-flopped. It's changed dramatically. So now it's only 30% of startups will go out of business in the United States. Only 30%. However, out of 27.6 million companies in the United States, those businesses that have been in business 10 years or longer, 70% of them will go out of business. So these are horrible statistics facing business owners. Yeah, if you've been in business over 10 years, you have a 70% chance that you're going to go out of business. The media talks about the public companies all the time, like Toys R Us in business 75 years goes out of business. Kmart, Steinmart, Pier 1, Godiva Chocolate, my favorite chocolate, is closing down. 1,500 locations, Disney stores closing, GNC is closing down 900 locations. But all the media ever talks about are the big businesses because that's all they really care about, because that's what makes the news. They don't talk about all the private businesses on every street corner in every town in every state across our great nation. And these private businesses are exiting poor. They're selling for pennies on the dollar, closing their businesses, or even worse, filing bankruptcy. And when you file bankruptcy in America, you don't just lose your business assets, you lose your personal assets too, because most business owners commingle funds, they commingle assets. So that's why I wrote Exit Rich. So Exit Rich is not just about selling your business. Exit Rich is about building a sustainable, scalable business. Yes. So when you're ready to sell, you actually have a sellable asset. Because most business owners don't even think about selling their business until something internal, like internal catastrophic or external catastrophic event has occurred. Internal could be health issues, partner dispute, divorce, death. It could be this pandemic we've been in. So business owners don't really think about selling until they're done. Well, when you're done, it's too late. And you shouldn't sell in the middle of a catastrophe, because your business isn't going to be worth anything during a catastrophe. The best time to sell your company is when your company is doing well. But business owners don't want to sell when their companies are doing well, because they're like, oh, this is great, we're making so much money. But I'm here to tell you, nothing lasts forever. There are seasons, things come in, things change. 70% of businesses are going out of business. The number one reason why businesses are going out of business is because business owners stop doing what I call AIM, AIM. AIM is always innovate and market. They stop innovating, they stop marketing. Toys R Us did nothing new in 75 years.
Yeah.
Blockbuster had the opportunity to buy Netflix and innovate, and they did nothing and went out of business. So many of these business owners get married to their original concept, and they want to keep doing things the way they've always done them. And in America, that doesn't work for the consumer. Whoever makes it easiest for the consumer to purchase products and services is the company that's winning. Amazon winning because they make it so easy to purchase products anywhere in the world and have it delivered in 2 days. And so that's why so many businesses are going out of business. So Exit Rich is all about not becoming a statistic, not becoming part of the 70% of businesses that go out of business. Because think about it. Think about if you had your business for 10, 15, 20 years, all of a sudden you had to go out of business. Wouldn't that like break your heart?
Oh, yes.
Not a good thing
That's
at all.
a part of your life at that point.
And
It's a part of your life. And not only that, but you poured your heart, your energy, your effort, your money into it. You've made huge sacrifices along the way. I talk to business owners that haven't had a vacation in 20 years. I've talked to business owners that never made their kids' soccer game or plays or football games. So we make huge sacrifices along the way. You need your payday. Every business owner deserves to the fruits of their labor, and they deserve to sell for their desired price tag.
Okay, and so would you say that not being innovative enough or not being consistent with the innovation, is that one of the biggest mistakes that you see a lot of business owners make?
So it's hard to prioritize them all because there's so many. That is one of the biggest, yes. Innovation, lack of innovation is why businesses are going out of business. That's number one. One of the biggest mistakes that business owners make while they're not sellable is because they're not planning their exit. They're not thinking about selling. until a catastrophic event occurs. That's another huge mistake. And business owners don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. You need a plan. You need to stop thinking about your business as your baby. Your business is not your baby. Your baby's at home. Go home, love your babies, hug your babies, kiss your babies. Treat your business as the most valuable asset that it is and plan for it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like if you have a financial advisor and you have a portfolio of stocks, right, of investments,
Mm-hmm.
you treat that as investments,
Yeah.
right? You listen to your advisor. You don't say, no, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, I'm going to make my own decisions. You listen to the experts. Same thing with a business. You need to build a business and you need to listen to the experts.
Nice.
Now,
You need to build a business. Number one, like Stephen Covey says, start with the end in mind.
okay.
And number two, plan your exit. I call it the GPS exit model in my book, Exit Rich. Plan that from the beginning. And number three, build your business on the infrastructure of the 6 Ps that I'll talk about in my book, Exit Rich.
Okay. And marketers, we felt like this was so important to have on the show because it's different in our culture. We have a lot of businesses that tend to go, and I think it's because it's a smaller community.
Mm-hmm.
We have a lot of businesses that tend to go on for a really long time, but I do think that we are transitioning and moving into a different era. And this information is good information, and I think everybody needs to hear it because also in the book, you emphasize, having a sustainable business. And that's what's very important for every business owner to know. You need to have a sustainable business. So tell us, what is one important strategy that you need to do in order to exit rich? You said start from the very beginning, plan as though it's the end.
Yeah. So you're saying one strategy. I'm just going to walk you through the GPS exit because that's the only way I can really explain it.
Okay.
All right. So when you want to drive somewhere to Bahamas, you probably know where you're going, but let's say you don't. So when you want to,
we've been living here so long, and sometimes we still have to use our GPS. So
I live in New Orleans. I've been living here for so long. Sometimes I have to use my GPS.
Yeah.
But let's say you have to use your GPS and you drive and you go to Google Maps, right? You go to Google Maps. And what's the first thing you plug into Google Maps?
Well, we plug in where we're going.
Yeah, the location.
The destination.
Yeah, the destination.
And what happens if you don't plug in destination?
You go anywhere.
You're actually stagnant. It doesn't move.
You're stagnant. You're stagnant. That's a very good answer. And what did you say, Robin? You don't go anywhere?
Yeah.
Both of those are correct. So think about your business. If you've never plugged in your destination,
Oh, that's good.
you're stagnant. You're not going anywhere. Or you're going to end up worse. You're going to end up out of business.
Mm.
So the number one thing you have to do. Oh, now Travell is very interested. I see.
Yes.
The number one thing you have to do is business owners have to figure out their destination. Business owners don't plan to fail, they fail to plan. You need to figure out your destination. I work with my clients to say, okay, let's figure out your destination, your end game, your desired sales price. What do you want to sell your business for? That's your destination. There's 5 ways to exit a business. I know in Bahamas, you said businesses continue on generation to generation. In the United States, they don't anymore because the kids don't want the parents' business. So, 5 ways to exit. So before I finish the GPS exit model, let me tell you how businesses can exit, right? Number one is passing your business down from generation to generation. That used to be very popular in the United States, not so much anymore. Less than 10% of businesses are passed down from generation to generation because the kids don't want their parents' business. They have zero desire. Number two, do an ESOP. An ESOP is selling to your employees. Less than 10% of deals are ESOPs because most business owners want to cash out. They don't really want to sell their employees, and it can be a complicated structure. Number 3 is just get a manager and let them run the business. The problem with that scenario is you don't know if they're going to do a good job or run it into the ground, and you're still never really free.
True.
Number 4 is sell a percentage of your business. And that's what happens in the United States. A lot of larger type businesses, 20, 30, 40, 50 million and up, the buyers buy percentages. Like they'll buy 70%, 80%, 90%. Very seldom do they buy 100% because they want the owner to have equity. They want the owner to still have skin in the game.
Okay.
And then the last way to sell a business is 100%. Most owners want to sell 100%. So that's the 5 ways to exit. I thought that was important to take y'all through that before we complete the GPS exit model.
Okay.
Oh, the 6th way to exit is to sell for pennies on the dollar. The 7th way is to close your business, and the 8th way is to file bankruptcy. So which do y'all prefer?
100%. Let me get
So
up.
back to the GPS exit model, you got to determine your end game.
Mm-hmm.
So everybody gets hung up on a number. All my clients are like, Michelle, I don't know the number. I'm like, just pick a number. We can adjust it along the way. So let's say you want to sell your business for $5 million. Boom, we got a price. $5 million. Now, what does a GPS exit need to know after it knows your destination? What does it need to know now?
The route.
I love how he looks at you.
The route.
I answered the first time.
No, you both answered the first time. Give her a break.
True.
Right.
Thank you.
So what does a GPS exit model need to know next?
The route. No.
Where are you starting
Where are you starting
Yeah.
from?
from?
Mhm.
What is your current location? In other words, what is your current evaluation? No Family Feud on this. What is your current evaluation? What is your business worth today? Now, I'm going to tell you in America, and I probably would say this is true for the Bahamas.
Mhm.
Business owners don't know what their business is worth. They never get a business evaluation. They never get a business evaluation until they think about selling. And then they get the valuation and go, oh, it's only worth $100,000. I thought it'd be worth $2 million.
Absolutely
And
correct.
they're like, oh, I can't afford to sell it for that.
Mhm.
Well, yeah, you can't afford to sell it for that, but your problem is you never built a $2 million company. You built a $100,000 business. There's the difference.
Mhm.
And it is financial suicide not to get an annual business valuation. We go to the doctor once a year in America. I assume you do in the Bahamas, to get an annual checkup to make sure your heart's still ticking and you're still kicking. You drive your car to the mechanics to make sure you get an annual tune-up. But you take your most valuable possession, which is your business, and we don't get an annual business valuation checkup.
Good
That's
point.
financial suicide. Because let me tell you why that's financial suicide. There's events that increase valuation. There are events that decrease valuation. And how do you know where you're going if you don't know where you're starting from?
It's good.
Yeah.
So you have to know
Yeah.
what your business is worth. So let's say you want to sell for $5 million, your business is worth $1 million. Okay. Now what does the GPS need to know? It needs to know time frame.
Mhm.
So let's say we're going to do this in 10 years. So now we have a start of a plan. We need to know who our buyers going to be, what type of buyers. And I say buyers, not buyer, because clients come to me all the time and say, Michelle, I already have the buyer. I just need you to represent me with this one buyer. And I always say, nope. No, what do you mean no?
Mhm.
I go, no. No means no, because I got to go in and I got to evaluate the business. I got to evaluate it on the 6 P's. I got to help you fix the 6 P's, because I guarantee your business is not operating all 6 cylinders. I got to clean up your financials because it's probably a mess.
Mhm.
Then I got to gather all the information and put in do all my due diligence and put it in the data room and get it ready for the buyer. And guess what's going to happen? 9 times out of 10, that buyer is not going to close on the sale of your business. They're going to find something that they don't like.
Yeah.
Mm.
And now you have no backup buyers. You have no backup buyers. Plus, how do I maximize value if I can't create competition with a party of one?
Truth. Truth.
So there's 5 types of buyers. Did y'all know that?
It's 5 types of
Did
buyers.
you know that?
Yes.
I knew that.
I know it now.
Who are they then? I'll put you on the spot.
That's why I said I know it now.
You know,
90% of buyers are first-time buyers. They don't buy $5 million companies.
truth.
And now that's in the United States. Again, these are United States statistics. 95%. So I don't want somebody in Bahamas calling me out on this stuff. But 95% of buyers are first-time buyers. They don't buy, I say 95%. They don't buy $5 million companies. Turnaround specialist is the second type of buyer. They buy distressed assets. They don't pay a lot of money for businesses. They buy for pennies on the dollar. Some of them just leverage the assets and buy the business that way. Then you have private equity groups. They buy based on platforms and add-ons. platforms is, let's say that they want to get into the casino business in the Bahamas, and they're not currently in the casino business. They won't even look at a casino unless it has at least $3 million up in EBITDA. EBITDA is earnings before interest, taxes, depreciation, amortization. And in other words, it's the cash flow of your business before the accountant, I don't know about Bahamas, but before the accountant gets a hold of the financials and then adds back depreciation, amortization, interest, and taxes. If they're already in the hotels and hospitality, then they'll look at other similar businesses under $1 million in EBITDA. They call that an add-on. Strategics and competitors. These are strategics and competitors. They typically pay the highest multiple because they're buying synergies. They're buying synergies to catapult their current business to the next level. And so they typically will pay the highest multiple. Plus, they take advantage of economies of scale. And then the fifth type of buyer, sophisticated entrepreneur, serial entrepreneur. They're industry agnostic. They chase cash flow. So you have 5 types of buyers. So now that you have your plan, you have to reverse engineer it and say, okay, if I want to sell for $5 million, I'm currently worth $1 million. Where do my numbers need to be? What does my gross revenues need to be? What does my COGS, cost of goods, my operating expense? Most importantly, what does the EBITDA need to end up at? And the EBITDA needs to be around $1 million, depending upon your synergies. Then the next big question is, what are these buyers looking for? What is their buying criteria? What are negotiables? What are non-negotiables? What synergies are they willing to pay top dollar for? And then you build your business to meet their specific criteria so that when you're ready to sell in those 10 years, you're selling for $5 million or above. Now, the last equation, let me add one more thing. It's kind of like when a business starts, right? They're like, here's my widget. Here's my target market for my widget. This is my product. This is my target market. And I build everything to suit these buyers or target market specific criteria, right? Your business is a product. This is your product. This is your business. These are your buyers. You have to build to meet the specific criteria.
It's good.
Nobody's doing it.
Someone's soaking it all up.
I'm like a
So the last step in that equation is the why. Nothing in life gets done without a powerful why. You wouldn't have left your positions and started your own company if you didn't have a good why, if you didn't have a significant why, because having a job is easier than running a business.
True.
So you have to have a powerful why to keep you in a job, strike that, a powerful why to keep you in the game, to keep you weathering all the financial storms, any pandemics that come our way, to keep you motivated. So that's the GPS exit model. Does it make sense?
Oh,
It does. It does. But I will admit, in order for it to definitely sink in, we have to buy Exit Rich. We have to buy the book. We have to study it and make sure that, we come to our own understanding.
We're going to buy the book, and then you're going to have me back on the show, and then I'm going to quiz you.
Yeah. As a matter of fact, Michelle, the minute I press end, I will actually send you guys an email. I am purchasing the minute we get off this call.
I don't do too well with quizzes.
Because a lot of things that you explain, you are experiencing them in the United States, but I think a lot of what you were talking about, it can be applicable anywhere you are.
Yeah.
Because
that's a good point, Travell, because I've been on podcasts all over the world, in Singapore and Tokyo and Australia and UK and literally all over the world, except for Russia. Why is Russia not having me on? We don't want that American. Anyway, except for Russia. But really, business is pretty much very similar all around the world.
Yeah.
And things are applicable all over the world.
Yeah. And I definitely think that that pandemic placed us in a space where a lot of us are experiencing a lot of the same things. So the information definitely is important. But
Mhm.
one thing that we like to ask Michelle, all of our guests on the show, we want to know, like, what was one of your greatest struggles in building the brand that you have now, and being the Michelle Seiler Tucker, having your website,
Silent.
Tyler.
Come on.
You're fired.
I know.
Don't fire me. Don't fire me.
Yeah.
I think he actually is going to fire me after this.
Yeah, so what tell us about one struggle.
One struggle.
Yeah, one of the
think-
biggest struggles.
I think the biggest struggle for me has always been to get the right people. You know, and people is the first P in the ST 6 Ps,
Mhm.
which is your infrastructure, and people is every business owner's struggle.
Mhm.
And I think one of the biggest things for me has always been getting the right people, and especially people, and this is where I struggle, and I know a lot of entrepreneurs struggle this way, getting people who are, I don't want to say at my caliber, but
Who shared
what?
who shared the dream?
Well, who share the dream, but also have the core competencies.
Yeah.
Really getting people who have the core competencies, getting people who are maybe smarter than me in areas that are not my core competencies.
Mhm.
And that's, I think, always is a struggle for every entrepreneur, because, you know, when you're interviewing and testing and all this stuff, they always say, oh, I did this, I do this, I can do this. It's kind of like when you date somebody, you don't really know until you marry them.
Yes,
Sure.
definitely.
Same thing with an employee, you don't really know until you hire them or
Definitely.
you know, try them out. So that's why I really like the internship to permanent hire, which is what we do here at Seiler Tucker. And I think that's always a big struggle, is getting the right people in the right seats and getting somebody that has a core competency that can take the initiative, that I don't have to tell, do this 5 times because you've done it the first time.
Mhm.
Or you're taking the initiative to do it without me telling you to do it.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yes, definitely.
And
Yes.
that's everybody's struggle.
Yes.
Oh, yes, it is.
Yes, and that's what I was about to say. A lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
A lot of people. And so what will you say is your greatest success?
Yeah. And you know, well, let me back up a little bit too, because when you asked me what's my greatest struggle, that's kind of hard for me to answer. Did you notice that was a little hard for me to answer? And the reason for that is because I don't focus on struggles. I don't think about struggles. I don't reflect on struggles.
Mhm.
I mean, I always say this too shall pass. I'll try not to kick your ass. So I don't really focus on struggles. To me, you know, if it's not going to affect my life in 5 years, I try to let it go. So I don't really, like I said, reflect on struggles,
Nice.
because I think so many people get caught up
It's a good.
in
good.
the struggles and the issues and the mistakes they've made, and they shouldn't do that. You just need to move on.
So get caught up in the struggles. Don't get caught up in the
Don't get caught up in the struggles. And why are you pointing at her?
Yeah, I'm saying, I was waiting for us to see if it's correct.
I hope we're going to use the audio. Are we using a visual, the video?
Yes.
Everybody can see y'all doing that? Okay.
I'm happy so that everybody knows what I have to go through.
So this is your
okay
struggle,
now.
huh? Your
Yes.
struggle is real. Your struggle is travail. So my biggest success, I would say, you know, I have so many successes, and I like to focus on my successes, not on my struggles.
Mm.
And some of my biggest successes is writing 3 books, selling multi-million-dollar companies, owning many different businesses, partnering with business owners and helping them build their business to sell, and helping them not go out of business, helping my sellers get more money for their business than they ever thought possible. Raising my 10-year-old daughter, who's more complicated than any transaction I've ever done.
Breathe.
Speaking on some of the biggest stages, you know, with some of the biggest thought leaders there is. Those are my biggest successes.
Nice. Yeah. And I can definitely agree with that. Our 10-month-old son, he is a
10 months or 10 year?
10 months. So
10 months?
Yeah, you're a bit further ahead than we are. So yeah.
But the
Oh,
journey.
get ready. He's not even beginning to be a
Oh,
struggle.
Good.
Wait till he can talk back.
I know. I
I
know.
think he thinks that he can
I
talk back
know.
now.
Yeah. And to our listeners, I definitely want to say from the bottom of my heart, Michelle, we definitely appreciate you imparting this knowledge to us. Like it is for our audience, but there was so much that we gleaned from it because you didn't even know, but you said that I was really paying attention. There were so many things that you were touching on in terms of our business strategy and things that we're looking to do. And it's very encouraging because we're looking at somebody who has made their way to a particular point, and you're the living proof that these things are possible.
Yes.
Once you plan from the very beginning to your point where you want your exit to be, it is very, very refreshing, and it's a good perspective, different perspective from what we've been accustomed to, like we said, in the Bahamas, where just start a business and 20, 40, 50 years down the road, this business is still in the family. So you've given us a fresh perspective on how we can start to do things moving forward. And
well, it's gonna take a lot of years for your little boy to be able to take over your business.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. And then the other thing too is you don't want to do things the way everybody's done them.
Yeah.
So just because everybody does it this way in the Bahamas means that you shouldn't do it that way. You need to create your own path. You need to be the innovator. You need to be the thought leader. You need to be the one that's mixing things up and people follow. So build a business, sell it, and then start other business, buy other businesses, start other businesses.
And marketers, again, I thank you, Ms. Tucker, because you did not hear, but she's been in meetings all day. And she took this time out to talk to us, and she has to run to another meeting. But
we got to tell everybody where they can buy Exit Rich.
Oh yeah, no, that's coming right now.
I thought you forgot.
In my mouth.
I usually, Robin, you get the last one.
So I'm going to take this opportunity to point at him now.
Yeah, let's all point at him.
Yes. So we're definitely going to place the website links below. We're also going to place them on our Facebook page and our Instagram page. But they are EXITRICHBOOK.com or still, I don't like saying SeilerTucker.com. I told Michelle at the beginning that it's a Bahamian way to mess up your name.
It's American way too. So
definitely, guys, you want to grab and once you purchase the books from her website, you get the instant PDF, and then you also mail the book, the hard copy out.
Let me tell them everything.
Yeah, you know what? Go ahead. No.
All right, so a few things I want to tell you about Exit Rich that we really haven't gotten into yet. Number one is Sharon Lecter is my co-author. Fabulous, wonderful woman. She wrote Rich Dad Poor Dad with Robert Kiyosaki. If you haven't read Rich Dad Poor Dad, you should read it. And she's a New York Times bestselling author, 5-time CPA, financial literacy expert, the advisor to many different presidents, including Obama. Her husband is an IP attorney. And she's written the Mentor's Corner after each one of my chapters from her perspective. And then Steve Forbes has endorsed Exit Rich, saying it's a gold mine for all entrepreneurs as they leave way too much money on the table when they go to sell their business. Kevin Harrington, the original shark on Shark Tank, he wrote the foreword. And then Les Brown, do you know who Les Brown is?
Yes.
One of the number one role motivational speakers of all time.
Yes.
And he was labeled as okay, just mainly retarded. He was labeled as retarded by his teacher. And that man, is such an inspiration. Anyway, he gave us a glowing testimonial along with Jack Canfield and Tom Hopkins and so many other great individuals. So one thing I want to say about Exit Rich that we didn't have time to cover because the GPS exit model took up all of our time. It's one thing to plan your GPS exit model. It's another thing to build your company on the proper infrastructure. Most business owners never build a business that someone wants to buy. Most business owners build a glorified job, which they go to work at every day, versus a business that actually works for them.
Yeah.
So Exit Rich is all about, it's not even about selling it. The second half is about selling your business. The first half is all about building a sustainable business that you can scale based upon building your business to operate on all 6 P's, all 6 cylinders. The first P is people. I'll go over it really quickly. people. You don't build a business, you build people, and people build a business for you. Entrepreneurs have to get out of trying to do everything. You're not good at everything. Focus on your strengths, hire your weaknesses, put the right people in the right seats. Make sense?
It does.
And you'll never grow unless you let go of the control. So you don't build a business, you build people, people build a business. The second P is product.
Okay.
You have to ask yourself, is the industry on the way up or on the way out? Is it thriving or dying? Do you have an Amazon or do you have a Blockbuster? Remember when I said 70% of businesses are going out of business because they stop innovating in marketing? Y'all own a marketing company. Product is so people is the most important. You're not going to go anywhere without people.
Truth.
Okay. You can't have a kid without another person. You can't build a business without people. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then product is huge because if you're in a dying industry, then you're not going to be sustainable. And you can't have one profit center. If you have a marketing company, you got to have several congruent ways that you get paid.
Yeah.
The reason so many businesses went out of business during the pandemic is because they had one way that they get paid. You can't do that. You need multiple congruent revenue streams. Number 3 is processes. You must design your processes around the customer experience, not your own agenda. You need to ask your customer, what do you need? What do you want? How can I make it easier for you to do business with us? Whoever makes the easiest for the consumer to do business with them is the company that's winning. Amazon winning because you can practically buy anything like we talked about. Processes must be designed around customer experience, productive, efficient, well-documented. You have to have your policy and procedure manuals, your SOP checklists, your employee handbooks. Okay, proprietary is the number 1 value driver. You got to build your brand. The more well-branded you are, the more I can sell your company for. The Apple brand is the most valuable brand in the world, worth $359 billion. Trademarks are important. Trademark your slogans, trademark your company name, trademark everything, your podcast, but don't just get a state trademark, get a federal trademark or an international trademark if you're going to do international business. Patents are huge. Shark Tank talks about patents.
Yeah.
You know, they won't even give you an offer unless you have a patent or the offer is contingent upon. Contracts, very important. Manufacturing, distribution, marketing. You have a marketing company, have contracts with your clients. Make sure they're transferable. So when you go to sell your business, it's transferable upon a new entity if it's going to be an asset sale, not a stock sale. Databases are huge. Facebook paid $19 billion for WhatsApp, and WhatsApp was hemorrhaging money. We're talking about synergies that can take you from a 5 multiple to an 8 to 10 multiple on the sale of your company. Celebrity endorsements. We have a client that's got products in front of Oprah. Strategists will pay a lot of money for that. Radio endorsements are huge because they can only endorse one vertical at a time. They can't endorse 5 skincare companies because they'll lose credibility.
Yeah.
All right. Then you got patrons as a 5th P. Oh, I want to go back to content. Your marketing. Content is king. If you have a lot of content in your business, it's worth money. Okay, just remember that. E-commerce businesses, anybody that has those top positions on the internet and they're their niche for Amazon, Etsy, maybe to sell coffee machines, you know, that strategists will pay a lot of money for that. I call that digital real estate. And then the 5th P is patrons. You want customer diversification, not customer concentration. You can't have all of your revenue tied up in 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 clients. What happens when you lose those clients? And then the last P is profits. Lack of profits is never the problem. It's always a symptom of not operating on one of the other 5 Ps. Clients come to me and say, Michelle, I have a profit problem. I'm like, no, you have a people problem. You have a process problem. Okay. Those are the 6 Ps I wanted your listeners to hear because that is the foundation of your business.
Definitely.
That's the foundation. All right. So you can go to EXITRICH at exitrichbook.com for $24.79, which is less than Amazon. We will email you the digital download immediately, and we will ship the hardcover to your doorstep for no additional money. It's to anybody that lives inside the United States. Let me clarify that. Outside the United States, there's additional shipping, unfortunately. And then we'll give you a lifetime membership into the EXITRICH Book Club, where there's video content and me doing deep dives in these different strategies and techniques I've been teaching for 20 years in the trenches, plus documents to operate your business, documents to sell your business. So we have sample employee handbooks, non-competes, org charts, policy and procedure manuals, sample 11 intents, purchase agreements, due diligence checklists, closing docs. All the documents you need to operate your business and sell your business are there for you to review and download. It will cost you, I don't know about the Bahamas, but it will cost you over $50,000 in the United States to recreate all those documents. It's cost me more than that. And you're getting them for $24.79. Plus, we give you a 30-day free membership into Club CEOs, which is an entrepreneurship mastermind where we help business owners build those sustainable, scalable, sellable businesses. All for $24.79 at EXITRICHBOOK.com.
Mm-hmm.
You see, that's why I wanted to say it.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
In the Bahamas, we have a saying, and it's you can't beat that with a stick. That is an excellent deal.
Yes.
That's it.
Yes.
Best offer ever. You want best money ever spent.
Yes. Yes. Great information. Buy the book. It is definitely beneficial to you. So thank you once again, Ms. Tucker, for being here with us and sitting with us and teaching us all of this great information. It was
I couldn't let you leave without knowing the 6 P's.
the first P.
No, I couldn't let you all leave without
Okay.
Okay.
the 6 P's. Yeah.
You said quiz, and immediately I thought you had to I was
Like
ready.
Pop quiz.
I was ready because as you were naming them, I was like, okay. But okay, yeah. Yes, definitely. And I mean, I'm happy that you did say it because that was the meat. It was great information. But of course, there's a lot more information in
everybody says to me, Robin, oh, Michelle, don't give away your whole book. Are you kidding me? That's only 6 chapters and a 23 chapter book and a 325 page book. There's so much stuff I haven't told you.
And that's why I'm saying now you have to buy the book, especially because it's some great perks in buying the book on the website. And I want to be a part of that. So I'm inviting new marketers to be a part of it as well.
Yes.
We got the information. We are sharing it with you. Thank you once again, Ms. Tucker, for being on the show and giving us this great information.
Thank you, Robin.
Thank you for taking the
Chevelle.
time. And you have a great day.
And this has been your episode of Family Feud.
Exactly.
Almost every episode is like that.
Thank y'all.